outside of many places, whether it be the workplace, a family or friend house, or any other places, it might seem safe and comfortable, when in reality it can destroy someone's life. Did you know 43% of hate crimes were motivated by race or ethnicity in Canada in 2017? I and many other people in Canada think that number is too high. In fact, there should be no number at all for crimes against race, ethnicity, color, or religion. Racism is everywhere, whether you know it or not, in movies, books, TV shows, and of course, in real life. Racism is not something new. If we go back to the late 1800s, early 1900s, we can see that there is a difference between racism that takes place in the world. Of course, it's not big, and there's not much that has changed. 2 years ago, in 2022, there was a video going around online of an African American man getting killed by a police officer who was there arresting him on suspicion of using a counterfeit $20 bill. That man was George Floyd, a 46-year-old innocent man murdered by Drake Chauvin, a 44-year-old white police officer. A big movement called BLM started the day after the death of the man, and more reports, videos, and accusations against police officers and high-ranking people were coming to the surface because they are not from here. The BLM movement is called Black Lives Matter. The protests started soon after the death of George Floyd, with crowds of people with signs of his name and face and the BLM movement on them around the United States. So, these were what was around, and that man right there is George Floyd. When I say that racism is everywhere, I meant it. A great example to help understand is the book To Kill a Mockingbird. The book being published on July 11th of 1960 by Harper Lee. The book is issues more than just one issue. There is ageism, sexism, and racism. To Kill a Mockingbird is narrated by a kid's point of view, Scout Finch. This girl is white and so is her whole family member, but her family, Cook, is black and so are a lot of other people in the town. In To Kill a Mockingbird, a young girl accuses a black man, Tom Robinson, of raping her. And the father of Scout is Tom's lawyer. This makes a lot of people in the town hate the family because the father is helping someone black. In here, this is the book, To Kill a Mockingbird. This is the father in the movie, and that is Tom Robinson. With no evidence and a room full of white jurymen, they declare that Tom is guilty of the crime solely because he is black. Later on, it was proven that Tom did indeed do nothing to the girl, but sadly Tom had already died when he tried to flee because he didn't want the sentence and was shot. Ultimately, at the end of the day, one person can't fix the problem in the world. In spite of that, if more people try and work together to make the world worth living for, over time, we might overpopulate the crowd that disagrees and makes them rethink their judgment. But the truth is, that problem against racism is going to take a lot more time than most want to admit. My solution for this is to try and convince small groups of high-ranking people at a time and hopefully those people will help us convince other high-rank people, and they will overtake. I hope that this might convince you to at least try and help those who have no justice.